with this event also, by
Oh,
the way.
really? I'll have to look into that. But yeah, you're talking about this QAnon shaman. Now he's like the face of the whole movement, but nothing
That
about the guy
becomes the
made.
face of QAnon. So they
Yeah.
funneled everybody into this guy, and you know, and make it an overt, like we're controlling it. It's almost genius in the sense of um, it really isn't this hard when you're manipulating this many people and you have the levers. So I don't want to give them complete genius, because if you have all, you're controlling all the mouthpieces, then yeah, you should be able to get people to run to the exit, right? I mean, that's, but in this particular case, they had multiple situations. The cop never got hit with the fire extinguisher, right? The cops broke the windows to let people in to begin with. Nobody really went crazy in there and damaged anything. The only thing that happened was the Ashley Babbitt incident, which seemed staged, right?
And you had 14,000. Yeah, look, the Ashley Babbitt thing, we have evidence it was staged. There's a jump cut. It was edited, probably filmed in advance. And there's 14 some thousand hours of closed circuit television footage that we will never see from inside the Capitol. So, my point being, Trump and company have just rolled over. If they were legitimate, they would have said, no one's going to jail until we've removed
No, I
all
think it's
doubt
worse.
here.
He set their sorry asses up. He said, "I'll see you over there." And don't forget Giuliani, who is a photo of meeting Mister 33 guy, with a big smile on his face and his weirdo pedo tattoo and the rest of it on his body. Uh, that was, let's go, guys. He gave him a call to action, especially Giuliani. Trump, you could argue, was neutral, but
Yeah, I was
you know,
watching
I'm
very
going there
closely.
with you. You know.
Look, I had every reason to believe that they were gathered there to rush to the Capitol and stop Mike Pence from certifying the election. Like, it was pretty clear to me that's what they were telegraphing. And then you had Bill Hicks out
Yeah.
there saying, we'll take Joe Biden out of the office one way or the other. So I was there to watch the insurrection. That's what it looked like they were doing, and I wasn't a participant, but I was fully expecting that they would succeed at it because I thought this was, I mean, this is kind of what they were planning. It wasn't like it was a surprise or a shock. And so, yeah, I kind of thought this was a big setup and that they expected it to possibly even get worse.
Like most of these psyops, they throw the gasoline down, light the match, walk away, and if the thing goes a big boom, great. And if it goes a little boom, they try again.
Now, do you have any
And this one,
expectations
I
for
think
today?
they,
I mean, in about 12 hours or so, we've got the State of the Union address. Today's being the 1st of March. I know there's some truckers, a convoy that passed through where I live here in Albuquerque on the way out there to DC. And I believe that the state police in Illinois are supposed to be giving them hell. But yeah, do you have any sort of expectations for the State of the Union tomorrow?
other than low expectations, not really. I generally believe the trucker thing's self-defeating. It's probably just completely controlled. It's not like these truckers don't have unions or are given marching orders. Um, so I don't know how that helps anything. If we want to stop something, then we should be a little more forceful. I don't get how you protest the government waving a government flag. This is what I don't get.
Oh, that's funny. How do you protest the government waving the government flag? You know, when I saw the first lockdown protesters running to the Capitol begging for their freedom, I thought, you just ceded your freedom right there. You gave up. You could have just gone back to work, but instead you had to go beg them to make you free, which is just a way of saying we're not free. So, yeah, you're right. We're
I,
dealing with
I would never admit that I voted publicly like that personally.
right.
I don't get how voting in these scam elections would matter that much to you. But I do get how they got everyone whipped up. They definitely made it a perceived fixed election, more so than others that are always fixed. You know, I'm pretty privy how it works in the blue state of California, and I know all of the Republicans are paid off opposition. Not one of them's legit. Not one. So we have a uniparty.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a two-headed bird, a big two-headed phoenix. They show us in our symbols. It's Batman and Joker working for the same side, and they just get people to. I mean, like people have this sense that this false sense that they can trigger some kind of mass awakening, and they see the truckers as a sign that everybody's waking up, or they see the lockdown protesters, everybody's waking up, and then you have to remember half of the country is against you. Half of them don't want you to be protesting. Half of them don't want, they see you as terrorists. So to me, this is just highlighting the rift that already exists. And so, yes, Capitol Police have put up their fences and they're expecting truckers, whatever that means. I mean, again, this is also a key point here. When we get into this heated rhetoric and hyperbole about climate change and who's causing it, they love to scapegoat the truckers as, well, one of the main causes, fossil fuels, and also they're part of this evil system of capitalism where supply and demand isn't just coming from the government.
Well, with Elon Musk giving a little bit of cheerleading on Twitter, that was the death knell to them ever driving a truck again. Their trucks will be automated in the next couple of years. This is really their last hurrah across the United States for the very last time they'll be driving a truck. They'll shut them down one way or the other. They're taking all of us out of our cars. This is pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think that might be a.
Have an auto.
Yes, you're right about that. That's a big part of the climate change agenda, and I think that the COVID-19 was just a fast track 2030, and it seems like 2030, as in total lockdowns of non-essential workers in order to save the planet. And you can do all your work now in the metaverse, which is greener.
That doesn't get your poultry cut. That doesn't get your vegetables taken out of the ground. So there's definitely a rift there. But we see all that going, right? They don't want you eating any of that stuff. They want you eating their Soylent Green processed stuff, so they don't need to use the farmland.
Well, today,
Why use the thing that grows?
You have now entered the New World Order's AI construct, where nothing is as it seems. Your dreams and aspirations have been selected for you. All that makes you who you are was predetermined by the now functioning AI. Free thought is no longer an option. We now have control over all things, including the very thoughts we allow it to have. Do not try to resist. Welcome to the masquerade.
Welcome to the masquerade.
Some sort of illusionary grid that we're living in. System giving in. Tired of living with hypnotic